Does the palmistry or horoscope of a wife influences her husband's health and income? Here are many hands, and we would try to look on these particular hands, that what they represent and what would the combination of hands indicate. And we have to look at from the opposite point of view as well. We have to look at from the point of view of a husband as well. Yes, absolutely, I would say that the hands of the wife does have an influence of her husband health and income as well, and same goes for reverse as well. It could be also true that wife might benefit out of her marriage with a great amount of support coming to her from her husband. Like, I'm just giving a very small example. Bad mood of a wife is going to influence the husband's health. The husband is not going to be happy, and that's the reason why some of the people who can't take pressures are going to basically are going to be kind of stressed up, and stress is going to bring about anxiety, and that's the reason why they would not be as successful, and their income is also going to suffer due to this particular stress. Lastly, whatever is real in real life is also real in palmistry as well. Like, we are talking about stress, anxiety, these things would also play out in one particular person's life. So let's take it in a real life scenario basis. What's going to happen? Basically, let's assume what's going to happen. I'm drawing this particular, look at this particular hand, this one that we are referring to. This is a person who is a very, very balanced kind of a nature. You would notice that the lines that you see out here are very simple, deep and clear. This is a very simple kind of a heart line as well as headline, and the lifeline as well. These kind of hands are considered to be really good indication, super good indication. This can be a hand of a wife, or this can be a hand of the husband. Whoever hands it might be, such people are going to remain extremely stable, and that is the reason why they are kind of going to support their partner in a much better way compared to a person, something like let's take another hand, this particular hand that we refer to. Okay, now in this particular hand, what's going to happen is, notice that there's a wave-like formation out here, wave-like formation on the headline. Wave-like formation on the headline is going to bring about emotional instability. These people would not be able to stabilize themselves. That is a reason whoever they associate with, they are going to bring about problems. The problems can come from the reverse as well, like their partner can bring about those problems, or the situations the person is in is going to bring about such problems. This is what we are referring to. The line is wave-like formation. These lines should be stable, as you have already seen in this particular case, very stable. Or the heart line or the headline, these lines need to be extremely stable in order to have a very predictable kind of a mind. A person who does not have a predictable mind is going to kind of destabilize. So this is another aspect that that I wanted to convey to you. Try to look at this particular heart line as well. In this particular case, the heart line out here is not so clear. These are branches that are showing up. These branches, whenever they show up on the heart line, indicates huge amount of stress and anxiety. It doesn't mean that such a person with this particular hand that we refer to, these people would not have any anxiety or stress, or they wouldn't be having any problem. These people also might have many problems, yet they come out of their problems very easily. They are able to face challenges. Such a hand would be able to face challenges in a much better way compared to a hand something like this that I have already drawn out here. On top of it, apart from these branches over the heart line, you would also see that there's a girdle of Venus. It's a very unclear kind of a these lines are running parallel to the main heart line. This is the heart line I've already drawn. So what happens is that a person would become extremely emotional. Dual heart line means this is the girdle of Venus is also known as a sister line to the heart line. So it would increase the intensity of one's emotions, and a person who is more emotional is also likely to get hurt more easily. So again, not such a good indication. Such a person is likely to have unrealistic fantasies, those things, and the person could also be hysterical. So those things are not going to be those things do not bring success. Imagine this is a hand of a woman. If it's a hand of a woman, these lines can be, although this is out here I'm showing this is the hand of a male, but imagine if this is the hand of a woman, those qualities are going to remain the same, and the person, the lady, is going to be hysterical, and that is the reason why instability is going to come about in the life of the male as well. Okay, let's take an example where we have this hand of the female and this is the hand of a male. This hand is of a male. In such a case scenario, what's going to happen that even with the destability of the lady, those things are not going to apply to the hand of, to the life or the hand of this particular person, because of the more stability showing up in this particular hand that we are referring to. So it all depends upon hand to hand, which hand brings in more stability, which hand basically is destabilizing. Now look at another case scenario. You would notice that out here there are too many lines out here. If there are too many lines over here, let's assume that this is the hand of a male and this is the hand of the female. Okay, so let's assume this. So if this particular area where this is called the negative Mars, there are too many lines that you see out here, crisscrossing kind of lines that you see out here. Crisscrossing lines over the amount of Mars signify that the person is not likely to benefit from properties. This is the area of fire, so the person is not going to benefit out of property. But if there's a support that is coming from the wife's side, this is the hand of a wife, then what's going to happen? There's very less lines over the amount of Mars. So lesser lines over the amount of Mars is going to bring about more benefits coming to the family as such, in terms of land and properties, provided the husband invests more in properties in the hand or in the name of the woman out here. So this is how we look at it. Now look at another case scenario where we find that let's combine two hands together. Out here you find that there are too many lines over here, so lesser lines are considered to be much better than having more lines. And in this particular case scenario, what you see is that there's a heart line that starts out here, it ends, then another one basically develops. So there's a major break in the line of heart. If this is the hand of a woman, break in the heart line might bring about some major emotional break down in the person's life. It could come as a divorce. Now let's assume what's going to happen on a male. This is the hand of a male. You would notice that the money line starts and kind of ends before it touches the headline. So somewhere at the age of 31, 32, the money line ends and a new line basically develops. So out here we are finding that there's an emotional break due to the break in the heart line, and out here we are finding that the money line is broken. So money line, when it is broken, it could mean destability in finances during that particular period, and it could come about due to destability in the person's family life. Out here also you would notice that the money line is starting, it is ending out here somewhere at the age of 31, and a new one basically develops, and again that line moves forward from the age of 30 and it reaches the headline. So at this particular point again the money line breaks and a new line starts, so at the age of 35. So these are the times when there are going to be some problems that might come about in such a person's life. So I've shown you various combinations, how various combinations would bring about various different types of problems in one's life. There could be support, there could be hardships that come with associations, and those hardships can also come in terms of even when a child is born. A child brings their own fate. So if a child has got a hand something like this, then surely 100% you would notice that more stability is going to come and more focus is going to come to the life of the parents. And if a child is born with such a hand, this particular hand that we see, it's going to destabilize the parents as well. So it's not just husband and wife, it could be even having a child, and that brings about more changes in one's life. So it's a combination of everything, not one thing, but a combination of everything that plays out. And before I end this particular video, I would request you to press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update. You can get a paid reading session by calling me, or you can email me, whichever way you want. And normally people want to know about money line, possessions and wealth. Money line importance in terms of money is only 15%. So we can come to know about money on almost all aspects of our palm, not necessarily only on the fate line. We can come to know about the money from the heart line, head line, lifeline, sun line, Mercury, Venus, Mars, or any other line. A saint once said, you do not need to go to an astrologer or a palmist to know about your future, because you already know your future. Present is a result of past. How will be my future? Future depends upon what you are doing in the present. What are we? We are the product of our thoughts. So the thoughts that come to our mind are really important. Negative thoughts, negative people, negative situations, we have to stay away from all of them. Be in the right company of people. Even if your hand, even the hand that I had already shown you, even if you have such a hand, like this, and you are in company of a person who has a hand something like this, be assured this person is going to take you in the right direction, provided you offer yourself completely. You have to offer yourself to such a person. Then your life is going to basically change. Being in the right company would change your life. Being in the wrong company would kind of take you in a direction where there's lack of success, hardships, more problems, everything. Thanks. Bye. Take care. Before ending this video, I would request you to press the bell icon, subscribe to my channel, give a like button, and give comments. If you dislike the video, click and give your comments down below what you disliked about the video. Give reasons. And thanks. Bye. Take care.